Morning, peeps. I'm back, and it's raining cats and dogs. Summer's disappeared. We have not had a summer here in Christchurch this year. It's been absolutely diabolical. I couldn't even go for a run, it was so bad. So I'm not my usual chipper self this morning because I haven't been for a run. But the good news is a nice, healthy green arrow. Up 100,000 places, up to 289k. A few weeks back, I was having a bit of a poor spell FPL wise. Nothing was really going right, and I was kind of hovering. But this is the first decent green arrow for a while, and basically, it's all on the back of Gakpo. So we'll have a quick look through at various players to see what we should be doing with them. Obviously keepers are rubbish. Verbruggen's no good. I should always play Flecken really, just because of his save points. And he came close to a clean sheet today, didn't he, old Flecken? Gabriel done all right, 7 points. Funny thing with the Arsenal game is that Saliba played, didn't he? I don't think anyone expected Saliba to start, but he did, and he got 9 points. Crazy peeps. Trent with 5 was looking good at one stage until they conceded. A lot of people would be very annoyed with that Ipswich goal, wouldn't they? I mean, if you picked up double Liverpool defence, you'd probably either got Kanate and Trent, or you might have gone for Allison. Well, that sort of late goal by Ipswich was a bit of a kicker, wasn't it? Because especially with Gakpo doing so well, 16 points. I mean, I don't think any of us expected that, did we really? I mean, I bought him in, but I wasn't really confident. He hadn't had a double figure all season, and then he gets 16 points. A bit of a shame he went off after 67 or whatever it was, because he was could have got more maybe, couldn't he? So Robinson, very annoying peeps. I mean, they managed to lose a game where the other team didn't even have a proper shot on target, did they? I mean, that was a big deflection that looped into the goal from Martinez, wiped out Robinson's clean sheet. But I mean, United did absolutely nothing to deserve that win. And it's very annoying, especially with Fernandez doing nothing as well in my team. He got a clean sheet point, but really he did nothing at all, did he? He's obviously on all the free kicks and everything else, so he's going to get points occasionally, but not the best performance by him. Palmer, they didn't play well. I was disappointed with Chelsea. We've seen how teams can crumble, how City can crumble when they're attacked. But even after Chelsea went down, they just did not put City under any pressure, did they? They didn't seem capable of it. So I was very disappointed with Chelsea's performance yesterday. So 2 points for him. Salah did all right. Some people were talking about triple captaining him, weren't they? Now, you'd have got 8 points for your triple captain. I mean, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, would it? Because we don't know what he's going to get in the double. But hopefully it's more than 8. But you wouldn't be surprised if it's not more than 8, would you really? Because they're not easy fixtures. Semenyo 9. Took to injury time to get his goal. I was looking at it, they were like 4-0 up and he had nothing. So that wasn't too good, but he did actually score at the end. So a good result from him. And I'll tell you something funny, peeps. I went on Twitter, I put a poll up. Who should I bench? Semenyo, João Pedro or Sarr? And overwhelmingly, I was told to bench Semenyo. If I didn't listen, I never do. So I played Semenyo and I benched Sarr, who turned out was absolutely rubbish as well. So that didn't hurt me, benching Sarr over João Pedro. But I mean, really, any week I don't get bench points is a good week. And a rare week lately. So Semenyo doing good. Great run for them coming up. Now, Gakpo. So, if you've already made your choices and you've got your 3 Liverpool in place and you've got lots of transfers, Are you tempted to swap? You know, supposing you have got Allison, Trent, and Salah, are you tempted to swap? You know, because Gakpo's suddenly looking very good, isn't he? And you look at those fixtures in the double game week, and clean sheets are going to be hard to come by for Liverpool. So you probably hold with what you've bought, but a lot of people I think are going to be tempted to switch to Gakpo. You know, maybe not the more engaged managers, but a lot of other managers are. He's going to be huge this week, and I think his ownership is fairly low, isn't it? So it's going to go up massively, absolutely massively this week. João Pedro, absolutely hopeless and annoying as usual. And Isaac, good. So peeps, nice red green arrow, up 100,000 to 289,000. So have a look at this Content Creators League, because I think there might be a few interesting ones for a change this week. Now people are asking why I do not show my head-to-head Community League that much, and the reason is it takes so long to update, and I tend to do these videos just after the game week's finished, and it won't be updated. That's the problem. So it puts me off, you know, going and looking, because it won't have the bonus points up, it won't have the final scores up. So game week, this game week, we've got a rare visitor to the top of the pile, peeps, and it's Late Riser. He's done it, and he's finally, after all this time, got rid of Haaland. You know, he's finally caved in, and obviously, with the fixtures City have got, you can't captain him, so you really can't justify owning him, can you? But the thing is, he sold him, and he's immediately come top of the rankings this week, because he's blooming gone and bought Gakpo in. You know, it's a... If it hadn't been this week, Gakpo had, you know, he would have bought someone else, obviously, wouldn't have been. He got Gakpo, so it's perfect timing. A bit like us Solanke owners. You know, we got really lucky this week, didn't we? Because we had an easy decision to make. I mean, I wouldn't have done it. I would not have got Gakpo in if it wasn't for that Solanke injury. So, fortune, peeps, fortune. So we got Gakpo in for Haaland. He also got Mbeumo in for Dibbling. And as for Mbeumo, honestly, I was watching that game. He took a rubbishy penalty. He hit the post, and I had a good laugh, you know. Then find out somebody's got their foot over the line, and he gets to retake it again and scores, you know. So instead of getting 0, his owners ended up with 7. You know, obviously not a huge score, but it helps, doesn't it? So very annoying for us that don't own him. And those that own him, very relieved. And you also got Trent in, as you would. So nice and easy for him to get rid of Haaland this week. Haaland scored against Chelsea, looks back on form, but with those fixtures and his price, you cannot justify having Haaland. I think Foden scored again, didn't he? First time ever, I think he scored 4 games in a row for City. But again, the fixtures you're going to keep away. Now, as was second, he's been having a very good run lately, hasn't he? Solanke to Gakpo, like myself, look, Solanke to Gakpo. And that is the key, you know, so much about timing in this game, and so much of it is luck, isn't it? Because I was cursing that Solanke injury. Now I'm thinking, thank God he was injured. You know what I mean? So he got 78. So he's got Raya as well. Now, a lot of people in this league have got Raya, 9 points. A lot of people got rid of Raya this week to get the Liverpool keeper in. But, you know, not in this league, it didn't. They kept Raya, most of them. So basically, it's a Raya and Gakpo show for Az. Oh, his next was 75. I've still got an extra chip. I mean, Az hasn't got his triple captainship. Eva's Joe behind. So Joe was next. Went Jackson to Gakpo. So he was proactive. Jackson, I think, got an assist, didn't he? But, you know, it would have been a harder decision for Joe to make to get Gakpo than it was for me and Az. Because because we were taking out a non-player. Although Jackson has been very frustrating, hasn't he? And like I said, very disappointed with Chelsea this week. Very disappointed with them. We've seen so many times City fold under pressure, and they just did not put them under any pressure. As for their defender, that poor defender, honestly, I felt so sorry for him in the first half when he let that goal in, I mean, he let that goal and it was all Pep's fault. Why did he play him? I mean, poor kid. Terrible, terrible Peeps. So anyway, Joe 72. Basically, yeah, just Gakpo. Rodgers today, he went from 3 points to 2 points to 1 point in about 10 seconds, didn't he? And Villa looking a bit tired. I was thinking United were going to be tired. I mean, United today didn't create anything, did they, really? They looked pretty static. And there's rumours that Chelsea are going to buy Garnacho. And if Garnacho goes, they're going to be even less inspiring, aren't they? But apparently they need the money. They can do a lot if they can get rid of Garnacho. It's all about the money, Peeps. So let's see. So we got Harry, 67, solid, probably a green arrow. And didn't make a transfer, still got 4 left. Has he got his 3 Liverpool already? No, he hasn't. So he held over. So he didn't get a 3rd Liverpool player in. So whether he was planning on getting a defender or getting Gakpo, we'll never know, Peeps. But he didn't get him in. Well, you might if you watched his show, but I didn't watch it, so I don't know what he's planning. But Andy, we've got to talk about Andy, look, because he had Solanke. So he had a golden opportunity to get Gakpo, and he didn't take it. He got Calvert-Lewin. So Andy went Calvert-Lewin. He obviously, I don't think he had him early in the season, so he doesn't know what an absolute little prick Calvert-Lewin is, But I think he lasted 12 minutes, didn't he, Calvert-Lewin? Something like that. So he got Calvert-Lewin in. And he got Virgil van Dijk. Now, Virgil van Dijk actually was one I was considering really in the week. And I'm pleased, thankfully, Voodoo was finally lifted, where my first choice, but I don't do, normally does the best, doesn't it? But this week it didn't. Because I was going to get Virgil van Dijk and Visser in. And that would have been a disaster, because I wouldn't have had Gakpo. And I tell you what, with those 2 fixtures, Liverpool have got Bournemouth and away at Everton. Clean sheets aren't guaranteed. So having 2 Liverpool defenders looked great before the Ipswich match, but it doesn't look so great after the Ipswich match, does it? So then we got Wag, who made multiple changes, got rid of Anderson, who's got poor fixtures and, he's not as attacking as Robinson. Got Pedro Porro in. Pedro Porro did get an assist, I think, today. But Tottenham, absolutely woeful. Can their manager survive again? Losing at home to Leicester is unforgivable, I think, isn't it? He's going to have to go. Manager's gone. Because if they can't beat Leicester, even with all those injuries, I know they had to play on Thursday night, but still, difficult, I know, isn't it? Playing Europa or whatever, having to play pretty much the same team in the league and losing to Leicester. But he's going to have to go, I think, the manager. And wagged his Saliba to Konate. And, Saliba did actually play and get 9 points, didn't he? Must have got the maximum bonus. Now, Fabio with a rare bad week. Only 60 points. I don't know if 60 points is green arrow or red arrow. Must be pretty close. He did Gabriel to Virgil. Oh, he got rid of Gabriel. Why did he get rid of Gabriel, Peeps? That seems a strange one, doesn't it? Because Arsenal's fixtures aren't bad, are they? And he's got rid of Gabriel. They were away at Wolves, weren't they? So, okay. So this is a problem, you see. This is a potential problem. So he already had 5 free transfers. So he had to make a transfer, basically. So when you're in that position where you have to make a transfer, you're more likely to forward your plans, aren't you? So he probably would have waited a week on Virgil van Dijk if we didn't already have 5 transfers. Good thing with Waymo actually getting his penalty was that it did knock Henderson back. So Henderson only got 1 point. Got booked as well, I think, didn't he? He got all irate about the penalty being retaken. So that's him. He's got rid of Wood by the look of it. I thought he was a Wood owner. Maybe he wasn't. So Mark, another one of a rare bad week because he's been flying, hasn't he, lately? His team value's pretty 106.3 million. Is that the highest here? 106.3. I mean, mine's stagnated lately. I'm only 104.7. Yes, he's got the highest team value. 106.3. Didn't make a transfer and has got 2 left. So he didn't make a transfer. So he hasn't decided on his 3 Liverpool yet. So he's going to waiting for that. So is he going to do Wood for Gakpo? You'd have to think people are going to get Gakpo. Has he got his? Oh no, sorry, Pete. So he has got his 3. He has. He's got Diaz. Diaz has done nothing for him, has he? It must be very, very frustrating. He's absolutely done nothing. The question is, do you keep Diaz? Or do you finally admit defeat? It's a stretcher, isn't it? I mean, you could do Diaz to Mbeumo and then do Wood to Gakpo. I mean, he could do that, couldn't he? But I guess if you've got Diaz, you're going to stick with him, aren't you now? Going to stick with him. And Big Man Bakar was last this week, and he did Saliba to Virgil van Dijk. And like I said, I mean, Saliba came out of nowhere, didn't he? I didn't hear anyone saying that he was going to play this week. But he's level with Mark at the bottom, so it's not terribly far off the pace. He's got Mikalenko for next week, which is good. You know, I'm thinking of doing the same, actually, getting Mikalenko. The keepers are a nightmare, though. A nightmare picks. So we'll have a quick look at the overall on this one. See where people are. So Harry's top. He's 37k now. He's doing really well. He's opened up a nice gap. With, wow, look, he's nearly 32 points ahead of Fabio in second. Then it's all pretty tight after that. I'm mid-table here. Catching back up with Mark, who went flying ahead, but is now gradually being pulled back. Cars down there and Late Riser. But Late Riser's finally got into the top million. Got rid of Haaland. His team's now like everyone else's, and he's still 30, 40 points off the pace. So his Haaland thing didn't work, but I guess you can say if it had worked, it could have been really good. You know, it's easy to say after the event it hasn't worked, but with those fixtures that City had, he's just unlucky that it was Foden, wasn't he? I mean, Foden went and got massive returns in those easy fixtures. So, you know, it just didn't work out for Late Riser, but it could have done. You know what I mean? So, anyway, we'll have a quick look at Reddit, see what's happened. Then we're going to have a look at what we can do for this week. An early look, because we'll be back talking about it later. People saying, the assistant manager chip's not that complicated. Stop whining. People are whining apparently. And I think the casuals, a lot of them, suddenly wondering why they've got an assistant manager alongside their team on the page, you know, and realising that something's going on that they need to sort out. And I can see quite a few of them going unused, to be honest. People either won't have the money to do it, or, you know, just be too overwhelming and they won't bother using the chip. Right, since the start of December, only Southampton have lost more Premier League matches than Tottenham. Only Southampton have picked up fewer points, and only Southampton have conceded more goals. So they've completely gone, haven't they, Tottenham? They've completely gone. You know. Have they been unlucky with injuries, or is there a reason why they're all getting injured? Because they seem to have so many, don't they? What else have we got here, peeps? Someone's developed a new tool. So if you want to see what it is, go to Reddit, because he wants people to go and test it for him. So it looks pretty useful, actually. Nice new tool for people to use. All stats and everything. So if you don't subscribe to any of the main sites and have trouble finding stats, you can go and download this thing and get all the stats that you want. See that? Looks very interesting little tool. We like to see people developing things in the community. You'll probably start charging for it at some stage, but yeah, fair enough if you put all the work in. Because I don't mind buying tools like the FPL team that I use. Yesterday it was offline. I didn't know what to do. You know, I was going to do a video after the game and that was down. And it completely threw me, you know, because I don't like going to a main site and using that. It takes hours to update. But what to do with SAR? I'll tell you what to do with SAR, peeps. Get rid of the prick, because we're going to go and see that now. I don't think there's anything else here. So we're going to go and have a quick look, because SAR has been a disaster. Absolute disaster, peeps. Luckily, I had him on my bench this week. And he's going to be on my bench next week too, away at United. Because I'd rather play Semenyo home to Liverpool than I would Sarr away at Man United. Even rather play João Pedro away at Forest. But that's not great either, is it? Let's have a quick look at the fixtures first before we kick off. Right, Arsenal, 2 good ones. This is why I'm surprised that Fabio got rid of Gabriel. Seems very strange. You could understand it after the next 2 weeks, but it seems an odd decision. Like I said, I think it's because they have got Man City next, of course, but then they've got the Leicester, West Ham. But I can only assume it was because he had 5 free transfers, so needed to use one. Villa, Watkins, 2 good fixtures coming up. He did nothing today though, did he? Oh, he did actually. He got an assist, I think, didn't he? So if you've got him, you're probably going to hang on to him. Now, Bournemouth are a team. After his Liverpool match, that's where Sarr will be going. Almost certainly. Either Clivert or the new striker they use, who's classified as a midfielder. So one of those 2 will be coming in. I'll be going double Bournemouth midfield. Unless I get the money from Bremo, which I can't see happening, to be honest. Brighton, not the best fixtures. So João Pedro, it could well be your time to leave the building, I think. Chelsea, okay, they're not in good form. I'm not happy with them. That was poor against City. Palace, yeah, Sarr. See, wait, Man United, wait for them soon. They've got a couple of decent fixtures, but he's just not doing enough, is he? I mean, they've had good fixtures, and Sarr has just had a single assist. Everton, you know, I'm looking at getting in either Pickford or Mikalenko, and possibly even the cheap striker, just for the sake of it, to replace Pedro. So possibly getting him in. Fulham, I'm not buying, not selling. Ipswich, you know, home to Southampton. You know, if you've got Delap, you're going to play him, obviously. Leicester, nothing to talk about. Liverpool, the next 3 are still good. They've got good attacking fixtures. Honestly, if you've got 2 Liverpool defenders, you're going to be a bit unhappy, I think, not having Gakpo. Man City, rubbish fixtures. United, again, I'm not buying, not selling. Fernandez was rubbish today, but I'm certainly not buying and not selling him. They have got some good ones. I will get rid of him at some stage when they've got those three. Newcastle, you're keeping probably, although they're not that nice, are they? Look, Fulham at home, then away at Man City, then home to Forest, and away at Liverpool. So I'm quite pleased they've only got one now. Weathered the storm of Newcastle, Hall and the midfielder. What's his name, peeps? Whatever his name is, I haven't got him. Forest resisted getting him Wood. The fixtures don't justify it, in my opinion, bringing him in. Southampton away at Ipswich, nothing there, they're hopeless. Tottenham, rubbish. To me, he's got to go, hasn't he? Postecoglou has to go. He looks depressed, and I'm not surprised. West Ham looked lively today, but you're not going to invest. Wolves, nothing yet. So, basically, it is all about the double game week, isn't it? Nothing else to even consider this week, I think. So the big question is, it's like the lottery, isn't it? The double game weeks. You've got to be in to win. And we've seen in previous years that some very little unheralded players can actually come out of a double game week as being the top scorers, can't they? First thing I'm thinking, my defence isn't great this week. Gabriel at home to City, Robinson away at Newcastle. I've got Colwell at home to West Ham, but I really don't like Colwell. No attacking threat. And even at home to West Ham, a clean sheet is not, it's probably best to do that. But should I get Mikalenko in, for example, instead of Colwell? Why not get Mikalenko? Because I could bring in Pickford. But the problem with Pickford is, against a team like Leicester, is that Leicester are possibly going to provide attacking returns, aren't they, for some of the Everton defenders, whereas Pickford's not going to get any of those. But, it's up in the air at the moment. Let's have a look at Everton first. We'll get Everton out. The other thing is, if I get Pickford, he costs more than the person I'm replacing. Whereas if I get Mikalenko, where's Mikalenko? How much does he cost, peeps? 4.4. So I can get rid of Colwell and get Mikalenko and actually add 0.1 to my budget rather than have it taken away by Pickford. But the other thing is my keepers are bad next week too, which does improve the case for getting Pickford, I guess. Although Flecking at home to Tottenham, who knows? Who knows, peeps, where Tottenham are at the moment. So, it's either one of those two, Mikalenko or Pickford. And the other thing to decide is, do I go the whole hog and get in Doi? That's it. Do I get him? Why not? I've got 2 free transfers. Why not get him? I'll be benching Sarr. A lot of people are going to be selling. I think a lot of people will sell him this week, won't they? Pedro. I think we'll go and have a look. I'll tell you what we're going to have a look at. We should go and have a look at Fantasy Premier League transfers and have a quick look at the most sold players so far this week. It's early days, but transfers in. A lot of people are bringing in Pickford. 80,000 bringing in Pickford, 60,000 bringing in Mikalenko. Both great options. Untold amounts of people bringing in Clivert, even though they've got Liverpool next. Still lots bringing in Diaz. Gakpo, 346,000 already this week. And Doi, 111,000. See that? I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it because why not? You know, just in case, peeps. You never know. Like I said, it's like a lottery, and you've got to be in to win. So there's something about a double game week. I won't. I nearly did it on there. Then that would have been a disaster because I don't want to do it yet. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Do I want Pickford? Do I want Pickford? How often will I play Pickford if I bring him in? I play him in. Anyway, peeps, we won't worry about all that. That's the minutiae, isn't it? We won't worry too much about that. So basically, Clivert coming in, you're not going to want him, but you are going to want Gakpo if you haven't got him. You might well want Ndoi. If you've got transfers, you're going to do it, aren't you? Basically, why not? Mid double game week, let's get involved. You know, Everton are better, aren't they, than they were? You know, I didn't expect them to win this week, but they did. They beat Brighton 1-0 away. So, you know, let's do it. Let's do it, peeps. And then next week, worry about Sarr. And like I said, that will be the time to get another Bournemouth player in because they've got cracking fixtures. You know, and if I got rid of him this week, I'd have to bench Semenyo at home to Liverpool. I don't really want to bench Semenyo. Because, like I said, the only targets I've got for Sarr are Bournemouth players. So that's it, peeps, basically. So, you know, if you've got Gakpo in last week, well done. If you didn't get him, you still only got 2 Liverpool, you probably are going to get him. If you already got your 3 Liverpool, then you're probably going to stick with them, aren't you? And the only decision now, of course, is how many Everton players to get. So I don't think 3. I think 3 would be over the top. 2 is reasonable, especially for someone in my position. Like I've got Colwell, I never play him anyway. I may as well turn him into Mikalenko. And I think I will do. I think I'll get Mikalenko and I think I'll ride my luck with Flecken because you never know. At home to Tottenham, Solanke's out. They could do okay, couldn't they? However, the likelihood is Tottenham are going to have a new manager, which is going to make them probably a lot harder to beat. So anyway, peeps, I'm off now. The sun's come out finally. You know, it's been days. You know, I've been indoors for like 2 days, and I've got to get out of the house. I'm going stir crazy. I've got to go for a run, peeps. So I'm going to lace up, get out the door, and go for a run. And I'll talk to you lot in a few days anyway. So cheers for now then, peeps. And like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you all later. Okay then, so cheers.